Okay, perfect. So I was just sitting here being like, we go through so many things in this business. People are just starting, people have been in for a while. What better yet than to find people who have done this and who have done it for a while and are like constantly doing it every single month. Like every single month they're waking up again and they're like, okay, let's do this again. Let's enroll, another 4 to 20 distributors this month. Let's do that. Like, what are they doing? How are they finding success? Like, what does this look like? And I was wanting to break down this video of knowing that, if you just joined today, you can watch this video and you can find success on, hey, what does this look like to find people who are interested in this business? How do we attract them? How do we enroll them? How do we get them through the door? And I'm so freaking excited. Chyann Knox could not be on here tonight. She is traveling, but she has her triple diamond with us tonight, and she has already enrolled 20 distributors this month. Like, what is it, the 25th? Like, numbers just ran. Can we just give it up for her? That's so amazing. See you in, where are we going? Margaritaville. But I am going to hand it to her, and she's just going to kind of share with you what is working for her and all of her best secrets.
Okay, can you guys hear me? Can y'all hear me? Okay, perfect. Okay, so hey you guys. If y'all don't know me, my name's Chyann Nickison. I'm a triple diamond with this business. And yeah, I'm just so excited to be able to be on here and like share my tips with you guys. I don't know, enrolling distributors is like my favorite part of this business, and for so many different reasons. And especially now, just because I mean, like Margaritaville, like hello. So I'm so excited to go on this trip. But yeah, so basically I'm just going to kind of run through this super fast with you guys. I can talk a lot and I can talk for a while. So I have my notes ready and I'm just going to get right to it. So, something that I was asked was like, what is like one of the biggest things that helped me in the beginning sign my distributors? And like, obviously when you just get started, like you don't have that like confidence yet. Like it's still new. It's still kind of weird. So I feel like the biggest thing for me was truly just, like doing 3-way calls with my leader. I don't know like the right way to call that now, but I got on a phone with my potential and Shay, and we just talked to the girls, and it signed me up probably my first like 5 or 6 distributors until like I truly got that confidence in myself to enroll them myself. And I love doing that with my team just because like I'm able to share my story and other leaders' stories that I know will be relatable to those potentials. So I love doing that with my new distributors, and I truly feel like that really helped me be successful from the get-go. And it also just helps you like build your confidence as well, like on top of that. One of the next things that I can say is I do message for distributors, but like very rarely. I really just try to do like attraction marketing as much as I can. But with that, it's just live posts and it's just being relatable, you guys. Like what is it? Facts sell and stories. I don't know the thing. Y'all know the quote that I'm talking about, but like, I just know that like if I can be relatable, I mean, like I'm 20 years old, I'm debt free. I've never had debt because of this business, and I'm able to make like 5 figures a month because of this business at 20 years old. Like that right there is a story. So the fact that I'm able to share that with people is just like absolutely like insane, really. And then, I'm just able to talk about like what life is like being in college and just like literally being able to live my best life. Like I travel so often now, and it's just something that like not a lot of college girls can do. So being able to like rewrite the script for them and like sharing that like social norm, like I'm just able to share that with so many people. So I really feel like that's like one of the biggest thing that's been able to help me like with that attraction marketing is just like truly sharing my story, sharing where I was going, where I've been, what it's done for me, what it's going to do for me, like all of those kind of things. The next thing on top of that is I really feel like with sealing the deal, I always use VIP spot. That phrase just like always seals the deal. Because if I say like I only have like 2 more VIP spots, they are automatically like VIP. Like what does that mean? Like I'm like a very important person. Like I want that spot. I don't know. It always works for me. So I've just been sticking with it. And I also bring up their why with talking to distributors. I always ask like why they want this. Like do you have like a goal in mind? Do you have debt? Do you have a bill? Like what do you want from this? And I always will bring that back up. Like if they're like, I just don't know right now. And I'm like, well, like I thought you needed like money for your college tuition or like money for diapers, like whatever their why is, I always bring that back up to where like they know exactly like that this business and this opportunity is going to be there to help them achieve that. And the last thing I do is voice memos. I've recently just been starting implementing this as much as I can. I love voice memos, but like I stutter a lot, and like that is just me though. But like I've noticed now that like one, like with my confidence, and two, like I stutter. Oh well, like it doesn't matter. So I'm just always like picking up the phone and just sending that voice memo. And even if I have to like say the same word 6 times, like who cares? Like that's me. And like they're gonna join me for me. And if they join me because I stutter every other word, then that's okay. Like that's fine. But like I said, I've been doing that today, and I've signed 2 distributors today, and the entire conversation that I was doing with them was just voice memos. So that's like my new biggest thing. I went live about it on our team page today, just because like, I don't know. I mean, like I feel like they can hear my voice and hear my excitement, and just like that I truly want to help them, and I'm not just like literally reading off of a script or sending them like a text replacement sort of thing. So I feel like that's also really been helping. And then the last thing I wanted to leave you guys with is just truly like not how I train my distributors, but how I like to get them started. So I always ask how they learn. I'm super, super green with like a lot of red as well. So the way that Shay had to train me was very like detail oriented. Like I read the comp plan as soon as I got started, like 6 times. And I still read it just because it's fun for me. I don't know, I'm weird. But like I'm just detail oriented. So I always ask people like, are you detail, goal, or friend oriented? And I just basically go from there. If they're detail oriented, I'm going to send them as many details about the business and customers and everything as I can. If they're goal oriented, I'm going to give them a goal, and they're going to achieve it, and they're going to text me whenever they achieved it. And then if they're friend oriented, I get them on a FaceTime call like as soon as they click that submit button, and I basically just go through the whole process with them on FaceTime. So it's kind of just like building that relationship as well as like becoming their friend and like obviously teaching them everything. So I know I literally just spit so many words and like word vomited at you guys, but that truly is all my tips for you guys tonight. And I know you're about to hear from amazing people, so I'm excited to hear what they all have to say. And I hope you guys have a great rest of your night.
Awesome. Thank you so much. I'm just going to double check this list before I forget who is next. I think whoever knows, let me just double check so I can introduce. Guys, I should have wrote this down. Everyone's like, don't flip the script on us. So I'm not going to do that. Let's do this. Okay, so we have Claire. Yay. Claire, you know, she's my ambassador upline. I've been following this girl since I even decided to say yes. Actually followed my, not only my enroller, but I was convinced because of her too. And something that I love about her, she's just consistent as it can come, you know, and, you know, some months might be massive, some months might be, you know, not as massive. And the mindset that she has following every single month is really what continues to make her a top, you know, she's in the top 20 for a reason, guys. And so I'm so excited. I'll let her take it away.
Hi guys, thanks Lindsay. I'm just excited to chat with you guys, and I love that I'm going on the heels of Chyann, who's like this amazing mass enroller, because I always do my steps to success. I never enroll less than 3 distributors in a month, and that's always how I have been. But I have had months that I've mass enrolled too. You know, earlier this year, I did 20 distributors one month, 15 distributors one month. So I definitely can also mass enroll, but I stay consistent, and I make sure that I'm always bringing in at least those 3 distributors every single month. I'm always moving my business forward, and that does come from consistency, like Lindsay was talking about. But I also want you guys to hear that I am in the top 20. I'm an ambassador diamond, and I don't consistently mass enroll. And I want you to hear that because I want it to free you. If you're saying like, well, I don't know what's wrong with me. I'm not able to sign 20 distributors. I'm not able to sign 50 distributors in a month. Like that seems impossible to me. That doesn't mean you can't make it to the top and be successful. Consistency is what gets you to the top of this company every single time. And working hard, no matter what your circumstances are, is what is going to get you to the top of this company, because you're going to have life come at you throughout the time that you're with the company. But if you stay consistent and you keep focused on your vision, you will get where you are trying to go. So right away, my name is Flores. I'm an Ambassador Diamond. I've been in for 4 years. I got started just wanting to make a couple extra $100 a month, decided I wanted to retire my husband, retired him within 4 months. And one thing that I did in the very beginning to get those first few distributors was I shared my story. The story that I already had day one. And so I want you, even if you're listening, shout out to my girl Ashley that just enrolled with me today. I know she was going to try to hop on here. Hopefully she got on before it maxed out. But, you know, even if you just started today, like Ashley, even if you literally just enrolled in this business today, you already have a story. You have a story because you have a reason why you chose to start this business. And right away, I had a story because I came in with a desire. I came in wanting to make extra income for a reason. So share that. Share why you want an extra income. Share why you want an opportunity like this to change your life, because you're going to resonate with somebody out there. And what I love about this business is that I have the same solution in my hands that I searched for years. For years, I wanted something that I could do from home with my babies to make an extra income. And now I have it. And not only do I have it for myself, I have it in this tangible, simple way that other people can have it too. And so share that and get loud about that and get excited with that. My very first distributor, actually my first 2 distributors, you guys, were placed under me by my upline. This doesn't always happen. It's a fun treat when it happens, but my first 2 distributors were placed under me by my upline. I want to touch on this because this was a powerful and pivotal moment for me in my business. Because my second day in the business, my enroller, Alyssa Billieu, reached out to me and said, I'm going to place 2 distributors under you because I see a vision with you. Because I know that you are going to the top of this company. Yay, Ashley's on. Everybody say hi to Ashley, my new distributor that just signed today. I'm so excited she's on. Everyone give Ashley a warm welcome. I love that she figured out Zoom on her very first day. Okay, so right away, my upline said to me, listen, I see the vision with you. I see that you're going to go to the top. I see that you have what it takes. I am going to put that faith in you, and I'm going to place 2 distributors under you. I took this seriously from day one, and I want to talk to you for a second. If you have ever had someone placed under you, it is what you do with that person. You now are a co-leader with those people. And can I tell you that those 2 girls are still on my top line? One is a presidential diamond and one is a double diamond leader. And they would have made it with or without me, but a huge part in their success was that I grabbed hands with them right away from day one, and we ran together and we decided we were doing this together, personally, enrolled or not. I decided I would pour into their businesses. I would run with them, personally, enrolled or not. And let me tell you, it has never done me a disservice. They have been the biggest asset to me. So she placed those 2 under me day 1. So day 2, I enrolled my husband. This is something that I think a lot of us forget and we underestimate. If you're married, if you're in a relationship, sign up your significant other, get them enrolled in your business, start collecting that double paycheck. So I saw that vision right away. I signed up my husband. Literally less than a week later, I was talking to a friend. She was telling me that money was tight. And I said, well, girl, I just started this business because money's tight for me too. So I just started a business. Would you want to do something like that with me? She said, sure. And she literally signed up with me that same week. My 3rd distributor was my good friend Sarah, or my 3rd personally enrolled distributor was my good friend Sarah. She enrolled because she saw that I was changing my life with this business. I was making a tangible income, and she wanted to join. Literally, you guys, I wasn't making a ton of extra money. I was posting about being able to buy a coffee mug. I was posting about being able to put gas in my tank and buy a new pair of shoes. And she reached out to me and said, are you serious? Are you really making money like that? I said, yeah, I am. She's like, okay, let me join you. So it didn't take, and Sarah today in this business, she enrolled Lindsay Voelker. And Sarah is a triple diamond VIP in my organization who enrolled a presidential diamond in my organization, still with me today. So what I want you guys to hear me say, and I know I'm jumping all over the place and probably annoying the crap out of Lindsay for not staying in order, but what I want you to hear out of my story, especially in contrast to Chyann, who you just heard is this rock star. It's like blowing it up. I'm literally always just amazed by her performance and what she's doing. But here I am, I'm just consistently not enrolling that many, but I'm training them well. And I know Chyann does them too. And we all have a different capacity. I'm a mom of 4. My capacity is a little bit different, but I'm training them really, really well. And so my girls are staying with me. And my first 5 distributors are still with me today in the business, and they're still growing with me, and they're still developing with me because we've built this strong foundation of everybody can make it here. And so that's the big thing that you guys have to instill in your new distributors right away is whatever you want out of this business, I'm here to serve you. We're going to do this together. Okay. My best way of attracting new distributors has always been through my posts. I share my story, the raw, the real, and the vulnerable. I let you guys know what's going on in my life. I've shared when my husband was diagnosed with cancer and we walked through his cancer journey, and this business was so huge for us during that time. I make sure that I'm sharing my life. I'm sharing my kids. I'm sharing my heart. I'm also sharing things that I want to see on social media, fashion, makeup, all the things that I love looking at social media for. I'm sharing those things and I'm being really honest with them. So one of the number one ways, I loved this question. Lindsay asked us the question, if someone gave you 2 hours to sign a new distributor, what would you do? I was like, oh, that's a good question. Right away, I would follow up. I always keep, so I have my massive list in my iPad Pro that has all the names from everybody I've ever talked to about the business in my iPad, right? There's hundreds of names in here, hundreds of names. This is not what I would open up right away. If I only had 2 hours to sign a distributor, I would get out this janky looking piece of paper. I'm going to hold it up and put it back down really fast. These are my hot leads for the month. These are the people that I know if I do my part, they will enroll in the business this month. If I do my part, they are hot leads. They're people that we're having great conversations. They're strong. I have a janky piece of paper every single month. And it's my piece of paper where I just jot down those names of like, okay, this conversation's going really well. It's on me if I don't sign this girl. I jot down her name. And the reason it's on loose leaf piece of paper is because it goes everywhere with me all month long. It's sitting on my computer. When I'm sitting at my computer, I set it up on my computer. When I'm out and about, I just toss it in my purse. I keep this one piece of paper with me all month long, and these are the people that like I will sign this month, and I keep it in front of me. The reason I keep it in front of me is because then when I'm on social media, guess what? I'm going to Isabella's page and I'm going to go comment on her stuff. I'm going to Susie's page, I'm going to go comment on her stuff. I am present in their lives all month long. I'm checking in with them. I'm making sure I'm following up with them. I'm making sure I don't forget about them. They don't fall through the cracks. So I would go to this list first. Then I would put my story in my Instagram stories, and I would make a post on my feed. I feel like I'm talking really long, so I'm going to wrap this up. But slides in your stories, 5 slides. Tell us, and I said this at Green Carpet, but tell us what was life like before you found this business. Tell us how you found this business, why you needed the business. Tell us your objections, what held you back, what you were nervous about. Tell us what life is like now, and then invite us on the last slide. And make sure there's always an invitation, a poll or something like that. And then I would go and I would message everyone who sees that story, and I would say, hey girl, I know you've seen my stories. I just wanted to ask, have you thought about making an extra $500 or more from home? And then they're always like, you know what? I have been watching you for a while. Like, give me a little more info. And then I love that Chyann said voice messaging. That is how I have signed all my distributors all 4 years in the business. I do tons of voice messaging. Always, always, always. Our first conversation might happen through text for like the first couple minutes, and then we go straight to voice memo. And it's all voice memo from there because I want to build a friendship. I want to get to know you. And it's my favorite thing ever. And Ashley did this. My favorite thing ever is when they voice message me back and we start talking back and having a real conversation, because then I can get to know them better and they can get to know me better. I think that was really the last thing. I think I got everything else in there. So I'm done. Sorry.
Oh my gosh, you're totally fine. I'm going to ask you, though, if you wouldn't mind to post the slides in the chat. People are asking. Yeah. But seriously, so, so good. And I just love, like she said, she's making sure she gets her steps to success done every single month. And by doing that, guys, you never know who's coming into your business. Like Claire will tell you she tried to fight Sarah for me, which no big deal. But you never know. You never know who's going to be that Ruby who actually ended up quitting, but she enrolled your ambassador, an ambassador that's going to help your charts. And so this is a couple things. I saw this in the comments. I just want to touch this before we welcome Morgan, but like feeling defeated, guys, I do really want to touch this because in my first year of this business, I will always tell people I treated it like a hobby. Guys, there was like 3 to 6 months where I didn't sign a distributor for a year, but I'm so glad I did not quit because I went to my very first conference as a paid executive. I was Ruby, so that was my highest rank. In my second conference, I was a presidential diamond. So just stick it out. Try to do those steps to success each month, getting those 3 DTs. But even if you don't, just stick with it. Because what is your biggest bill right now? What is your biggest bill? If you're going to always have, mine is my rent, $1,400 for my rent. I'm going to continue to work this business until my rent is paid every single month, which it is. So always just think of your biggest bill and what you need to do in this business to get rid of that. So next, we're going to, welcome Morgan. I'm so excited to hear everything she has to say. She's just dynamite, and I will let her take it away.
Hi. Okay, sorry, I was waiting to be unmuted. Hi, I'm so excited to be on here. Thank you for having me. So I'm Morgan Martin, and I am a presidential with this business, and I've been in since 2014. So next month will be my 5-year anniversary, which is so crazy. But so whenever I first started with this business, I enrolled my first distributor probably about a month in, and this girl was somebody I had never met in person. She was one of those people that I had on my Facebook. She was like, we're Facebook friends, but it was one of those people that I was like, how did we become Facebook friends? Like, I don't ever remember adding you. And you have that, like, people are always so like weirded out by adding new people on their social media, but you did that before you joined this business. So don't be afraid to add people to your list, and don't be afraid to add people to your network because you were doing that already. Like, I had random people on my Facebook, and she was one of them, and I didn't even know she saw my posts. She randomly reached out to me. She's like super natural and all organic and all this stuff. She's like really just like a cool person. And I was like, there's no way she'd be interested. I prejudged her. And she was my first distributor. And another one of my first distributors was in school, which I want to touch on too, because the thing is, like, so I joined this business in October, but I had just started school the last week of September. So I had been in school long enough to be super busy, but I had also been in such a short amount of time that I didn't have any friends yet. And I had just moved across the country to go to school. So I didn't have any friends up here. I didn't know anybody. But I think a lot of people get this like idea in their head that they're like, okay, so I am going to go to work, and then I'm going to go to school, and then I'm going to come home and I'm going to do it works. And it doesn't work like that. It's all together. I want you to blend it together, because the thing is like, I was working my job and I was working the business at the same time. I would rat people in the back room. And like, whenever I was at school, I was talking to people about the business. I was just excited about it. So you talk about whatever you're excited about. So get excited about the products. I was drinking the greens in my water bottle at school, like, while we were in class and stuff, and people would ask what it was. And then I would tell them, and then they'd order. And actually, we just got back from green carpet. My teacher from school was with us at Green Carpet because she joined this business as a distributor. So that's how you can work your business all together and mesh it, because it doesn't have to be separated. So I think that that's something that's super huge that we have to remember, is not to miss the people that are next to us. If you're a mom and you have, your kids are in soccer, talk to the mom next to you, because she may be your next diamond or your next ambassador diamond. Don't wait till you get home to work your at work's business and then say you don't have time. I hear that so much, and I'm like, dude, you were just at soccer practice. What do you mean you don't have time? So it's super crazy. So that's kind of how I signed my first distributors, was just everything, talking to people, getting excited. And the girl on social media, I actually never asked her to join. A lot of it was just by me posting about it. And you have to remember too, like, people see top income earners and they're like, well, of course it's so easy for them. But you forget that we started as a distributor too. We didn't have a single paycheck yet. Most of us, by the time that we signed our first distributor, like, I hadn't even gotten paid yet. I hadn't earned any money, but by the way I was talking on social media, just by my confidence, you would think that I had earned like a $10,000 bonus, because I was like, oh my gosh, like, I'm going to be making enough to pay for this, and I'm going to be making enough to pay for that, and I'm going to be able to do this. Like, they don't know how much you've made, and you're not lying and telling them what you've made, but your confidence is letting them know that you really believe in what you're talking about. And so you have to be confident. You have to talk about what it's going to do for you as if it already happened. You know, affirmations, we talk about affirmations all the time, but then we don't want to put it out on social media. So if you're going to say in your affirmations in the morning, like, I am a Ruby, I am making $500 a month easily and effortlessly, then put it in a post. Talk about that and say, I'm making $500 a month with this business and it is going to do this for me. And you're working towards that. And so people just are attracted to that. The other thing too, guys, if you're positive on social media, people are going to want to know what you're doing. Because if you look on social media right now and you're not following like a network's distributor, most of your content is going to be pretty negative. So people are negative. They're talking about things that they hate. They don't love their life. They don't love their job. And they're not a happy person in general. And you can be happy without this business. That's not what I'm saying. But a lot of it's complaining. And so when you're a positive influence on social media, you automatically stick out. No matter if you joined this business an hour ago or a year ago. And so be positive. Be that person that people are just attracted to. And then when you mention the business in your next post, they're going to want to know exactly what you're doing because they're watching you. Their wheels are turning like, why is this girl so excited? Why is this girl so happy? And then they're going to want to connect with you. So, okay, that was a really long answer for the first question. Okay, so the next one, I'll go fast. Attracting distributors, being yourself. Like, I love just doing stupid Instagram stories, like just of me talking and like, I don't know even what I really do. Like, I'm kind of awkward more than funny, I think. And so I just like don't delete videos that I mess up on. Like, I'll do bloopers. One of the girls on my team, this was really funny. Like, she had her son on her arm and she was making keto coffee and he just like spit up like all down her arm and she posted it. And she was like, real life here. She was like, blooper. And then she did it again. And she signed a distributor literally from a keto coffee thing because she was being herself. And so that was one of the things that really hit home for me watching her. I was like, I've got to like stop trying to make all these perfect because we waste so much time doing that. When people connect with our realness, like they're talking about that so much on the green carpet stage. I think Claire was in that panel and they're talking about how people relate to your story. People relate to how real you are. And so I don't know, that's something that I really encourage you to do is just be really real and make your content pretty, make it look nice and sharp and clean, but also make the wording of your posts let people know, I'm not perfect. I've got my own struggles. My life isn't, rainbows and butterflies, and I have real struggles. And if you do, then you'll fit perfectly in with us. And we would love to have you do this business with us because a lot of imperfect people are working towards the same goal. So that's kind of my like brand, I guess. And then just having a brand in general, even if it's not about this business, it shouldn't all be about this business, but talking about who you are and what you love. And that's going to get a lot of people responding to your Instagram stories. That's where I get a lot of my potentials from. And if I'm posting an Insta story about something that has nothing to do with the business, somebody will reply to that and then I'll respond back to them. And my last message was to them about the business. They never replied to me, but now we're in conversations again because they just saw my message again. They weren't interested before. Life has changed and now they are interested. All because I was talking about something random that they could relate to. So that's something that I really do too. If somebody gave me a couple of hours and I had to sign a distributor, I love what Claire said, following up. I would not go and send brand new messages. I mean, I might do that, like if I, had a little extra time, but I know I'm not going to send out a message right now and sign a distributor in 2 hours from that message. Most likely it's going to be from a follow-up. And I really want to encourage all of that because people are like, well, I messaged 10 people today and, nobody signed up. And I'm like, that's normal. And if they're going to be a distributor, you don't really want them to sign up on the spot. I want them to think about it. I want them to give a lot of thought because guess what? The ones who think about it for a couple of days or a couple of weeks are always the best distributors because they've really thought it through and they're ready and they're excited. So all the distributors I've signed this month are all from follow-ups. So it's not going to happen overnight. It's not going to happen super fast. And they want to watch you. If you're brand new in this business, don't think that you're going to sign your first distributor your first day. If you do, that is awesome. But most of us didn't because it takes time for them to see that you're serious and that you're really going to do what you say you're going to do. My best advice to seal the deal, following up. Like there's not really anything specific that I say to them. I don't really use a whole lot of scripts just because I think that I want them to just know that I'm just genuinely wanting them to do this. I do use a voice text and I'll just say, hey, like, I don't know if this is something that you're still interested in, and it's totally cool if not, AKA they're still going to sign up later. Like, they're going to continue to like look at my stuff and I'm going to keep following up. But I'm going to say, you know what, that's totally cool if that's not for you right now, but I had you on my heart and I just genuinely wanted to see if this was still something that you're interested in, because I think you'd be amazing because, and tell them why. Tell them what you see in them, because you're going to start vision casting before they even join your team. I think you'd be amazing at this because you're so relatable, because you know, have this like personality where you just connect with people and they feel like you're best friends so quickly. Whatever it is, like, tell them genuinely why you think that they'd be good at this. That's going to boost their confidence. Most people don't join because they're scared or because they aren't confident enough to join. So when you do that, you're breaking down those barriers for them already. The other thing I wanted to touch on really fast is your mindset, because most of the time whenever you're not enrolling people, it's because you're telling yourself that you can't. If you believe that you can enroll people, then you will. If you believe that you can't, then you won't. And you can be doing the exact same thing, but your mindset will hold you back that much that I'm doing the same thing that so-and-so's doing, but I believe I can and they believe they can't. And that changes our entire outcome. So you have to believe that you can do this. If your mindset is, it's $99 to join, which right now if you get your conference ticket, it's not, but you know, it's $99 to join, like it's too expensive. Nobody has that money. Nobody wants to do this. Or you can look at it as, dude, they can join this business for $100. It's so inexpensive and they can literally run it for free. Where else do you have that? And do you hear how excited I am? That's genuinely such a good thing. So when people ask me, you know, how do I get started? I'm not like, well, okay, so here's the thing. It does cost $100, but you get this stuff and like, well, and you will have to pay $20 a month for your website. But it's okay because then you can do this. Like, no, I'm excited. I'm like, dude, this is the best thing ever. Let me tell you how to get started. Okay, listen, it's only $20 a month. You don't have to keep inventory. And I'm excited and I'm sharing that perspective with them. And they're like, oh, that's awesome. You know, like it's, I don't know. So I just make sure that I'm like portraying how I truly feel about the business. And if you don't think that that's a good deal, go find somebody that owns a boutique and ask them how everything is going for them, how much money that they had to put into it, how much money they have to pay every month in overhead and to pay their employees, because that's going to give you some perspective really, really quickly of how amazing this business is and how inexpensive it is to do. For signing distributors for training new distributors, I just take them through this simple training where I explain eSuite and how to message and how to post and how to follow up. And a lot of it is through voice text. If I can voice text them, I can get everything through to them quicker. I'll do a phone call if they want. I'll do a FaceTime and just kind of feel it out between the person. And so, yeah, I mean, it's not anything super crazy. I don't want to take up any more of people's time, but it's just basically me walking them through step by step exactly what to do. And for 1 month, at least, I talk to them every single day, but like I'll give them a task to do, or like I'll, you know, after we finish our training, I'll give them a task to do, or I'll ask them how they're doing or what they need help with. And I'll literally tell them basically what to say and like how to write their posts out so that I can wean them off of me about a month out. And they're teaching their team to do the same thing. So I want to make it duplicatable. So it's really simple, but I'm showing them exactly why I'm doing what I'm doing so that they don't just do what I say. They know why, so they can do it themselves. And I'm done.
Awesome. Thank you so much. I swear I've been like waiting for the day to have Morgan on a Zoom where she's like,
you're asking me.
You're so welcome. Where she's just like face to face. It's almost like we're in the same living room. Awesome. Okay. So guys, I'm so pumped. That was just like amazing. Oh my gosh, so many good points to touch on. And like she said, the enthusiasm of it, guys, like I was listening to someone who was like, oh my gosh, like I think it was Jocelyn Yates where she said she almost paid $300 for the starter kit. Guys, that's been my verbiage now. There are people in this company who have paid $300. You are getting such a good deal to get started for $99. Like there's no if, ends, or ways around that. Like guys, I had to pay off a credit card to transfer a line of credit just to put that $99 just to get started again. So it's always possible. And if people want it, they're gonna make it happen. You can never say the wrong thing to the right person. So now I'm so excited. We're gonna welcome Rachel Jones. She's gonna be our closer. And I cannot wait to hear what she's gonna have to say.
Hey guys! Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. Okay, so let's see. I'm just gonna give you a warning. My day has been so funky. So like This is how you know your day's been weird, because I never look like this for a Zoom, like this, not like this. Like my notes never look like this. So bear with me. Sometimes those are the best Zooms though. So, okay. The first question was, I love this because it was like, how did you sign your first 3 distributors? And you guys, I joined 5 years ago and things were a lot different. I don't feel like we knew what we were doing. And so I signed my first distributor 5 days in, and then I signed my other 2 weeks in. So I know that sounds like it's not very easy to compare. It's easy to compare yourself and be like, well, that seems like she did really good. But I literally wrote down intense follow-up, because even though I signed my first distributor in 5 days, like I went all in. So 5 days felt like a long time because I was going like crazy. And so I had my mouth open from the day I joined because I was so scared. I was so scared to fail and so scared what people thought. I was so insecure. It's like I was so terrified that I was so much louder on social media, because I was like, I'll be damned if like they're right? So I did so much, and I was such a word vomiter, and I did so much. And I'm not saying to do that, but I just went so hard, and I knew that it was going to be a follow-up business. And the reason I knew that is because I messaged everyone I thought that would do good at this business, and every single person responded with, that sounds really great, but like I want to watch you for a little while before I waste my own money. And so I knew that because that was the common response I was getting. And so I knew that people would be watching what I was doing, and that like my posts were going to speak louder than my messages were. Now, mind you, this is an unpopular decision or unpopular opinion here, but I am a messenger because that got me to Triple Diamond. And so, but now I feel like I've been able to master like the authentic marketing, I think is what we're calling it now, like both. So I get to do both, but messaging is what got me there, you guys. And what I want to say about that real quick is that not everyone does need to watch for 5 years. Not everybody you come in contact needs to watch for that long. Now, mind you, those people are always the best, always. The quiet watchers, or the people that you message in 2013 and they join you in 2020, they're always so good because they waited so much time. They waited so long to do it. But there are people out there right now that just simply have no idea what you're a part of, and they don't need to watch that long. And so I just wanted to share that because I think it's inspiring. And if you're anything like me, when I joined, everyone was like, give it a year to change your life. And I was like, I wasn't gonna just be in it for a little while, but it was really hard to fathom me being in it for 1 year, let alone 5 years. And so I understand that some of you guys could be listening and you're like, wow, they're saying girls have to watch for a couple years. Not everybody does. Those guys are the good ones, but there are people that will sign up on the spot. Sometimes it's sketchy, sometimes it's not, but I had this one girl, you guys, on Instagram that I messaged. I messaged her, she's so cute. She looked like a little model. All of her pictures were very professional. I didn't know how old she was. Come to find out, she was 19 years old. I sent her a message on Instagram. She ignored it, which is fine. And then a couple months later, she was at a really low point in her life, and she was depressed, and she didn't know which way was left from right. And you know what she thought of when she was at her lowest point in her life? She thought of, I need something that's going to bring me happiness. And she thought of my message that I sent her. So she came and found me on Instagram, and she joined, and now she's a double diamond. She's 20 years old, and she's just a little hottie toddy on my team, and she's great. So I would just recommend you guys in the beginning, that's what I did, is I know, you guys, that I have my hands on a gift, and we should all make sure we have that kind of mindset, that our opportunity is a gift. And when you channel your mindset from a job, but you want to work like it's a job, but if you have your mindset of this is a gift, then you should feel like sick in your stomach to go to bed and not have talked to anybody about this business, because you're holding it in. And if I have a gift, I don't want to not tell my friend Claire because I know it could benefit her. I don't want to keep it in. I want to tell everybody because it's a gift. And so now I don't wake up every day feeling like this. I have to tell myself, and I have to remember, because I'm human and I don't always want to do what I have to do. But when I have my mind in that mindset, I'm offering this to everybody, and it doesn't make me scared to post. It doesn't make me scared to message. And if someone's going to ignore me, they're going to ignore me. But I know there are so many people out there that would kill it. They just need a little sprinkle. They might not see my post. They need someone to directly message them. So I try to do a little bit of both. And that's how, sorry, that was all off of that first question. But intense follow-up and consistency. So because I was getting that response of, I want to see what you do with it before I put my own money in it. So if you're new and you're watching this and you're like, man, it's like nobody will join me. Really pay attention to what you're putting out there, you guys. I was so serious about sharing the loyal customers I signed and sharing the distributors I signed. And so I signed that first distributor 5 days in, and then the rest were 2 weeks after. So that first distributor I signed, you guys, you better believe I was talking about her every single day. I was like, my girl Lisa, she joined. Oh my gosh, my girl Lisa, she got her shopping spree. She's killing it. It's like it channeled something in people's minds. It was channeling her audience and mine. What I personally feel like it did is it was showing her audience that she joined and she's doing good. It was showing mine that I'm not the only one doing this. I have the potential to sign someone up, which means someone else trusts me. If they're doing good, Rachel's a good leader. I want to be on Rachel's team. Does that make sense? I'm not saying that if you haven't signed distributors, no one's going to trust you, but use that. Brag about your team, whether you have 1 or 600, because it shows that you're a good leader and people want to be on your team. I feel like a big fear is people don't want to be left behind. And I feel like people just have the mindset that they're going to be signed up and left on the side of the street. And so I want to show people that it's just more than that. And so always bragging about that stuff, it shows people that you're doing good. People don't want to join under someone that they might not know if they're going to be good. So make sure you guys have your mouth open, and that means your business, your social media. And then just like, I won't really talk about attracting DTs because I feel like it's all the same at this point. But being me and making sure that I'm sharing the pain points, guys. So I encourage you to think about your story and you know, what those different like parts of your story are, and based on the day and who I'm trying to target, I'm picking little parts out. And when I say pain points, I'm talking about the struggling to pay for diapers. That's painful for some moms that can't afford it. I'm talking about my husband not having a relationship with our oldest son because he was working all day long and he'd come home that last 30 minutes before bedtime. I'm talking about like the fact that we weren't going to have another kid because we financially couldn't afford it. I'm talking about everything that made me emotional. That's a part of my story, and I'll make sure I share that because it's relatable. And again, I feel like it's just a fear in life. No one wants to be left behind. No one wants to be alone. So when they can connect to a part of your story, they want in. And again, we all have different parts. I know Claire shared at Green Carpet, like there's different parts of our stories we'll talk about. So like I am a college student. I forget to talk about it because I target moms more so. But if I'm in a potential conversation and she's a college student, I might leave the mom part out. That doesn't mean I'm trying to hide it, but that's the part I'm going to be focusing on. If I had to sign up a distributor super fast, I would probably message my views and my likes. And so again, I am a messenger. Because I like it and I'm not scared. But what I would just do is I would just message my views, and I use that little arrow on Instagram next to the view because it sends that slide, and I feel like it gives you like a pass because no one's gonna be mean to you. And again, maybe I'm just confident in the sense of like, I know what I have. And so you either want it or you don't, but you can't hate me for like offering you a gift, right? That's just what I tell myself. So I would just message the views if it was a slide of mine that had to do about the business, and I would be like, girl, I just got to come right out and ask what is holding you back because I'm obsessed with you or something like that, you guys. But mind you, I talk like that because I'm a little bit weird and obnoxious. So if you don't say girlfriend, don't say girlfriend. If you don't say sis, don't say sis. Sometimes I call people baby because I just like to use pet names. So you just have to be you, but I'm confident with that. And again, you would be surprised at how many people I'll message like those views and they overspill on me that like they wanted it but they just haven't. So I shared this on our level up page, but like you guys, I have the mindset of this, like I want so many things in life, I just don't want it enough to where I do it. I really want to be skinny really bad. I could easily say that like I really badly want to be skinny, but clearly I don't want it bad enough, because if I did, don't you think that I would be skinny and I would do everything it took? I talked about how like I wanted that new shampoo. I wanted it for a month, but I just was too lazy to message the girl and actually order. So I have the mindset that just because people aren't responding or just because people aren't messaging me first, it doesn't mean they don't want it, but they also have lives too. So that might help you guys too. And then last but not least, I try to cover the objection. So sealing the deal is what I'll end on. When I have someone's attention, when I voice message too, and I'm trying to cover every objection, even if they have not voiced it. And that helps me seal the deal. But like Lindsay said, I love saying that to my team is you can't say the wrong thing to the right person. And so at the end of the day, there is no perfect script. I stopped looking for it. There's no perfect wording. There's mine. And so I just make sure I tell them the objections, and the objections for me were like, so for example, if I'm talking to someone and they're like, what do you do? I'm like, let me start by telling you a little bit about myself. Here's the deal. 5 years ago, la, 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 la. And then I say, and then I was presented with this opportunity and I shot her down because I had no friends on social media. I was shy. I had no money. I had no time. I was the last thing she needed on her team. Like I voice all those objections ahead of time, and it's like they're listening and they're like, I have that too. I have that too. And then they continue the conversation. maybe it's a little manipulative, maybe, but it's like I'm connecting to them before. I feel like it's a good manipulation. And so the objections are my best friend because they're my insecurities, and I had those, and those almost held me back. But the girl fought for me and told me that I could rise above those, and so I make sure I cover those, and then I feel like we automatically connect. And then last thing about sealing the deal is just so I make sure, because I do message, sometimes I'll message someone in the morning and they want to sign up at night. So one of the downfalls about messaging is sometimes you don't have 5 years to build that relationship. So what I make sure I do, this doesn't always work, but what I make sure I do is I'll message them if they're like, I'm ready to go. Right before I sign them up, I message them and I'm like, I do want to say this because I know this went really fast. I'm not messing around. And like, this is what I do full time. I have a big team. I only have a couple spots left. And like, I'm working one-on-one with these people. So I just need to know that you're ready to go and you're super serious about this. You're not going to give up tomorrow. And you understand it's not a get rich quick thing. Like, it's like I throw it all right at the last minute. And then I feel like they respect me and they're like, okay. Yep, because I wouldn't say that, and they would sign up, and I found I was like painting this perfect picture of like, join, it's easy, don't do anything, and it's awesome, just to sign them up fast, and then they would put in the next day. So that's everything in one. I just feel like if you have the mindset that it's a gift, and you do message a little, but you also have an amazing social media, you can have the best of both worlds, and I feel like there's good people on both ends.
Awesome. Thank you so much. I really loved what she just touched on is the fact of, guys, you don't want to like portray that this business is quick and easy and you're going to get rich overnight, because reality is you're most likely not. And when you are saying that to, your audience of like, who wants to sit on the couch and like make money from their phone without like doing any work? Guys, the reality is you do have to do work in this business, and it's going to pay off tremendously. But those are the people, like, wouldn't you rather have been a little bit more upfront and they stuck it out versus they're like, oh my gosh, I actually have to do work. I didn't expect that. And then they're done. And so that just kind of goes back. So obviously a lot of our points have been touched, and they've been touched so amazing. I'm going to just share a couple things too before we close this out. So when I remember when I was running Diamond, I was just like, I'm going to add, and I'm going to just talk to as many people as I possibly can, because as soon as I, get a pay raise or I get a bonus or whatever happens, like, I sign another distributor, they're going to see me working and they're going to be like, oh my gosh, I want to get started with her. Like, she has what I want to have, and every single day she's excited about something new. You have to tell your story every single day. You like one way, shape, or form. And yeah, be transparent, because guys, I'll sit in this business now, 2.5 years, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm tired of, like, I don't want to be perfect. I don't want it to have to always look nice. Like, reality is I'm like, oh my gosh, I yelled at my kid way too much today, but that's relatable. And then you have to ask, and then you have to follow up. So a lot of us will sit here and be like, well, I'm doing all the right things. What's happening? You might not actually be asking. I would have never gone to someone and asked them to join if I could join them in this business. My pride was probably a little too much at that point. I didn't ever imagine that I'd be doing something like this. People probably aren't just going to fall into your lap. If they do, that's amazing. But the reality of it is it's most likely not going to happen that way. And yeah, I just, leave no stone unturned. And then also touching back on most people, because I've talked to a lot of people about this, but I lost my Facebook back in July, my entire Facebook having to start over. And that was a really hard thing to do, because I felt like I built a really, really solid platform. It got hacked. It got deleted. There was no way around it. 6,000 contacts just gone out of thin air. And I was just like, wow, like I could have let that defeat me. But guys, I'm so happy. It was a lesson that I could learn, something that I've said I've walked through, and something I can conquer. The first, month or two was kind of rough for me, because I went from massively signing distributors to not. And then I was like, okay, I had enough. And then the last month I signed 9. And that's coming from having I had 800 friends, guys. I had no friends, but I was intentional. So when you go to add people, be intentional. Choose who you want. Be picky. Say, okay, I'm going to add the girl who has a positive Facebook versus I'm going to add the girl who's really complaining constantly every single day, because there's no way you're probably going to fix sad Susie. Like, it's just not going to happen today. Maybe it'll happen eventually, but just not today. And And just know that you're planting seeds for a harvest. It's always going to come if you're consistent and you stick with it. I know that I'm going to be adding massively so that when things happen, you know, in 30, 60, 90 days, it's because of the work I put in. You're wondering, where are you right now in your business? Well, where were you 30 days ago? Were you even a distributor? Where were you 60 days ago? What were you doing in May? Because what you planted in May, how hard you worked in May is what you're reaping right now. So if you can sit there and be like, oh, maybe I just wasn't working as hard. That's okay. Every single day you get to wake up and you get to be proactive and you get to like decide what you want from it. So I am so happy and so blessed that you guys all chose to jump on this. This is my first Zoom that has been maxed out. I'm so excited about it, and I hope this is something that you guys are going to be able to share with your teams and have, you know, positive training from it. So thank you so much. I don't know if anybody has anything else left to say. If you do, go ahead, pop on, but we can close it out from there. Claire's still recording.